When you were 8 years old, summer lasted forever. Now you blink and it's December again. That's not nostalgia playing tricks on you. That's your brain doing something measurable, documented, and frankly a little unsettling once you understand the mechanism. And here's the part that should really get your attention. You can change it. The acceleration of subjective time as we age is one of the most replicated findings in cognitive psychology. It's been documented across cultures, across demographics, and across the full human lifespan. The question isn't whether it happens, it's why. And the answer involves your dopamine system, your attentional bandwidth, and something called memory encoding density. The oldest explanation is the proportionality theory, proposed by philosopher Paul Janet in the 19th century and still partially valid today. The idea: a year feels longer to a 10-year-old because it represents 10% of their entire life. To a 50-year-old, it's 2%. So subjectively, it shrinks. But proportionality alone doesn't account for the full effect. Research by Mark Whitman and Sandra Lenhoff, published in Psychological Research, showed that the subjective sense of time compression in middle age and beyond is more strongly correlated with routine density than raw chronological age. Here's what that means. Your brain doesn't record time equally. It records events. Specifically, it records novel events, experiences that require active attention, pattern recognition, and memory encoding. When you're 8, almost everything is novel. First day of school, first bicycle, first time you understood how lightning worked. Your brain is continuously writing new entries in its autobiographical log. As you age, routine takes over. The same commute, the same lunch, the same Tuesday. Your brain, being ruthlessly efficient, stops encoding these events in detail. They blur together. And when you look back over a year of largely routine experience, your brain has very little material to construct a sense of duration from. The year feels short because your memory of it is thin. This connects to the neuroscience of dopamine and novelty seeking. Research on the dopaminergic system shows that novel stimuli trigger stronger prediction error signals. Your brain literally pays more attention, consolidates more, remembers more. As novel experiences decrease in frequency, so does the richness of your temporal memory. Here's where it gets practically useful. If time compression is driven by routine and low memory encoding density, then the intervention is obvious. Deliberately introduce novelty. Not in a productivity hack way, in a structural way. Studies on autobiographical memory and landmark experiences suggest that taking trips to new places, learning new physical skills, or even taking a different route home creates what researchers call time landmarks, anchor points your brain uses to segment time. More landmarks, more perceived duration. A 2013 study by Moore, Biele, and Hikarin in PLOS1 found that participants who rated their weeks as more varied consistently perceived those weeks as longer in retrospect. The effect held even when controlling for how enjoyable the experiences were. Novelty, not pleasure, was the key variable. The second intervention is attentional presence. Mindfulness research, particularly work from Judson Brewer's lab at Brown, shows that deliberate attentional engagement with the present moment increases perceived time duration in the moment. The mechanism: when you're fully attending to an experience, your brain encodes more detail per unit of clock time, making that interval feel longer, both in the moment and in retrospect. Here's the thought I keep coming back to. Time isn't speeding up. Your life isn't shorter than it was. But your brain's recording of it is getting sparser. And a sparsely recorded life feels brief when you look back. The implication is almost philosophical. Living a life that feels long isn't about living longer. It's about living in a way that your brain considers worth remembering. New experiences, new places, new skills, full attention. These aren't luxuries. According to the neuroscience, they're the mechanism by which you expand your subjective lifespan, something worth stopping and thinking about. Subscribe for more of this. New video every week. Science that actually changes how you see things.